Came here to say who won it from the jump. We came to get exactly what you want. Came here to say that you don't really want it with us. Yeah, we love you know. We came here to say that you don't really want it with us. Yeah, the sports show.
Yeah. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Yerrr Sports Show, episode 143. I am your host, Big Baby, aka the soul of R&B. To the bottom right, we have the bottom left, we have the voice of a generation, Pete Rosado.
What's up, everybody? What's up? How we doing?
What's going on? At the bottom right, we have the domesticated Mr. Inside himself, BK Mac.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Feeling good. Today's a good day.
And we have at the top right, the ruler, the queen, 25K Tay. What's going on, queen?
Yeah.
What is going on? How's everybody week's been?
You can go, bitch. Thank you.
So better than last week. I'll tell you that. Last week was hectic as hell for me, stressful. Just first week of school, getting back to the craziness, getting back to the grind, learning how to take New Jersey Transit. Like this is a lot. This is a lot. And Matt's gone from outside Matt to inside Matt in the space of like 2-3 weeks. I can't keep up with
a year. It's literally been a year. I don't know what you and Lawrence with this 2 week, 2 month shit. It's been a year.
You were outside a week ago.
That's not true. It's not true.
It didn't even feel like you were really outside. Like by the time you processed being outside, like you was already inside. Like
no, when I was outside, I wasn't vocal with my shit. The shop knew. They knew. I was outside.
You know what? I want to burn the shop down. Fuck.
What's with you? Like what? Why are you so? They knew.
Why am I so what? The shop knew, but I didn't know.
You just want me to be outside more.
I knew you long. I knew you longer than them.
Yes, you have. Not Dre, but yeah, you have. That's why you're my sister. I love you.
I love you too, but I didn't know anything.
But I'm happy though. I can't wait for you to, I can't wait for you to meet her. Dre and her, they best friends now. Had a whole they pretty much like told me what it was. Like it's bad. I got no say for nothing.
This is a man. Let's just be real with you. We did a show, I swear, maybe about a month and a half ago. This man was sitting in a room with sports playing on a back TV. We didn't know what kind of room he was in. It was like brown walls. It was molting. Things were going crazy. Here we are a month later. This man's got a heart on his wall. His bed is made. I swear that's a beeswax candle on the back under the TV. Like this man, he's got a shirt that fits. He's got a hat on. He's showered and dressed, wearing 2 chains. He got his head. Yo, this
3 chains. 3 chains.
This chain.
The 3rd chain hanging up right now. But yeah, you're right.
Everything about Matt is changed in like a month and a half to a month, and it is crazy how fast this has happened.
But let me tell you something to the ladies: don't be picking up no men and making them all clean, because the moment they get all clean and stuff, that's when they go and they mess with another woman. So just don't pick nobody up and make them better and nothing like that. Like either you take them for who they are. Either you take them for who they are. No, I'm not talking about you, because I'm happy for you personally.
Thank you.
But this goes to any woman that may be listening, thinking that they could meet like a feral man and change them into a domesticated man. It's not going to happen, sis. It's not going to happen, sis. It's not going to happen, sis. Okay? Just so you know, like how you meet that man is how that man going to be. So don't sit here and listen to this lovey-dovey story, which I'm very happy to be a part of and hear, and think that this happens usually, because it doesn't.
But the thing is, I started feeling myself long before
you was all domestic. You was always a domesticated person. You had like you were like a domesticated cat that got like put in and like that got put out accidentally and got lost. You know, and now you found the right home.
Yeah, I love it.
You see, me, I'm forever feral.
Yeah, ever since 11 years old, right?
No regrets.
When you had your boyfriend at school and your boyfriend on the block.
If
yeah,
any social security involved.
That was the last time. Like I told my daughter and I was actually talking about this. She asked me about like my first love and stuff like that. Like when I was 9, I had a boyfriend named Brian. And when I tell you, like it peaked at 9 and it has never been the same. Like when I tell you, like he would make sure I had my juice, my Mystic, my chips. Like we were like lit. Like that was like block love at 9. And it peaked then and then it's been hell ever since. So I've been like, you know what? I've been chilling.
Not block love.
She did describe that block love.
Block love is different.
Block love is
a different love. I mean, he made this whole scene about, oh, you know, that was like, you know, it was sweet. It was like a sweet first love thing. And it's like, I had high expectations then. And, you know, I kind of leveled with myself when I turned like, 21? I was like, you know, it never gets that good. So let me just, you know.
Grizz said, oh, nah, he got the Mystic for her. He was locked in.
Yeah, we was locked in. I wonder whatever happened to him.
So he elevated from just getting kisses on the cheeks to grabbing your butt is pretty much what you're telling me.
No. We didn't get to the grabbing butt age. We didn't get to that grabbing butt thing yet.
Not at 9.
I had block love before. But
but that's my first block love. And the second time I had block love, I was 15, like 14. No, I think I was like.
See, 14. That's the one you got to worry about.
Grizz said he grew up to be Future.
Oh, no.
I feel like I'm like the female Future. You just call me Infinity.
You gotta relax.
Infinity. Infinity. Yo, Infinity.
That was wild.
Yo, Infinity is crazy. Yo,
she didn't even second.
Oh my god,
she didn't even think that. Like,
that just came off. Just came off the top like, now.
Came off the dome, like.
It was clean, bro.
Wild. It even threw.
Yeah, don't call me Future. Call me Infinity. Call me Infinity because the shit keeps going.
It keeps going. It never
stops.
So you saying you still outside? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm always gonna be outside. I just got an umbrella. I got some sunscreen on my skin.
There's a little bit on the top, like a little shade. I'm walking under trees right now. I'm outside, but I'm under somebody's tree real quick.
Yeah, I'm under a tree for a minute. I gotta rest a little bit.
We already know you domesticated. You get her
Pete,
a ring already.
You were supposed to be like. Let me tell you something. People like Pete should have been married already. Like I'm surprised you're not married already. Like you see me.
You're surprised. I'm surprised.
I thought you would have. You strike me when I first met you in person. I'm like, this guy got to be married with like 2 kids, and like living that. I guess I don't know how people in the Bronx live, but like, living that Bronx kind of bougie, kind of hipstery life. But soon come.
I mean,
and I'm waiting for Dre. You see, you guys are domesticated guys, and I am not a domesticated woman. Like when we first started this podcast, I was engaged. Remember?
Yeah, we remember.
I was engaged. And
that was Brownsville love. That wasn't Bronx love. That's a different type of love.
He was talking.
I'm talking about Tavia. That was Brownsville love. It's different.
I had a.
That.
So my issue was.
Shout out to my ex. He was
my issue was growing up. The women I was attracted to growing up were, as we would say, out of my league at the time, right? The way I thought of myself and the way I was, like especially back in those days, like I was going for girls that were just like top of the line.
Models.
Well, not really models, but like
it's okay. It's okay to go top of the line though.
Yeah.
Like I grew up.
You gotta remember, I grew up the nerd in the hood, right? I was the nerd in the Bronx. So for me, it was I went to school. My mom's had me in the after school program. I came home, went to the after school program. Right. Growing up, that's what I was. Right. And
I apologize to my parents because I dated hood.
And my mom.
When it's you, can you really date anybody that's not like that? Because
but to be honest with you, like me and my parents talk about this all the time.
Too. Well, yeah, no. Now I know that.
I went to private. I lived in the hood, right? But my parents owned our home. You get what I'm saying? I went to private school. My mom was a nurse. My dad was a supervisor at Transit, and my stepdad was a VP of communications for a newspaper. So it's like I was like that. You know that line in Eminem, like 8 Mile, like Clarence's parents had a really good marriage.
He was talking about you. He was talking about you.
He was like my friends was looking at me like, even though like there was always a dog in me. Like I was always who I was. You know what I'm saying? Like
pit bull.
But
not that German Shepherd. She's definitely a German Shepherd. She was a German Shepherd.
No, I'm a pit bull in the skirt. I'm a pit bull in the skirt, and I'll never.
Rottweiler.
No, pit bull in the skirt.
What? You're not. Never mind. I ain't gonna do it.
Always. But to date the caliber of men I've dated, my parents, I feel bad for my parents because they did not deserve that.
Now my mom, I think my mom was My mom was hella.
I got better now.
My mom was hella overprotective of me as well. Like
how are you getting raped by prostitutes? What are you talking about? You forgot
my mom was.
Yeah. You're
not
that protected.
Yeah, that part.
You weren't protected. You weren't that protected.
You were not protected.
You were not that protected.
Tay said it best. My mom did not have any idea of that until I got much older at that time.
She would have lost her ever-loving mind.
My grandfather had already passed away when my mother found out about it. But no, my mom was.
I wonder about this girl that molested you.
My
did she
mom
smoke
was,
cigarettes? Did she talk like this?
How did he know? She was a one-time thing.
I'm just saying he had sex with her. He would have to know. Did she talk much? Did she
Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you just get down to the business.
How old was you again? He was 12?
13.
I'm just
saying.
That's
so
bro.
young. That's so young.
And Queens is even worse.
I don't want to have this conversation.
No, but no, get back to it. My mom was like, in her own realm. My mom was super overprotective of me. I wasn't really allowed to have people over at the time. Growing up, like a whole bunch of stuff. And then my mom was like low key, like very upset at the fact that a lot of the girls I was attracted to when I was young and growing up were all Dominican. So my mom was like, "What? You can't date a Puerto Rican girl?"
Well, you know how that goes.
I pray for you.
No, I will tell you. When I was in 7th and 8th grade, the girl that I wanted to date so bad, she right now, she's married with 2 kids, but she is a diplomat for the United States government, and has been for a number of years. So like I shot high.
We can't go there, can we? Can we go? I want to.
No. As a matter of fact, we're gonna end it. We're gonna end this in a second.
This feels.
Why I gotta relax right now?
And then when I went to
exactly.
When I went to
sometimes this feels like tea time.
You know what? Let's actually make it tea time.
Dre, hit the drop.
Hit the drop. All right.
Give it to a queen.
Give it to a queen. I got it. Give it to a queen. Give it to a queen. I got it. Give it to a queen. Give it to a queen. I got it. Give it to a queen.
Queen, the floor is yours.
We're gonna talk about.
Good afternoon, ladies and germs. Welcome to another episode of Tavia's Tea Time. This your girl, the Queen, reporting from here, there, and everywhere. Stay firm for life. You already know Queen Affinity. I like that. I feel like that was smooth.
Big queen. Big queen.
Big queen energy. So now we get into the topic. We go there when you don't really want to go there. So today, I mean, we had this really long. We were going to talk about Bobby Porter Jr. and how he needs to be booted from the league, but I feel like we've stumbled onto something way more important.
Kevin Porter Jr.
Kevin Porter.
Kevin, whatever the hell. You see, he's so irrelevant to me now that it doesn't even matter. Get him out the league, lock him under the jail. What he did to that girl was
under the jail.
What he did to that girl was disgusting, atrocious. And I feel like the NBA needs to realize what line they're going to draw with this. Are they going to condemn or condone? That's where I'm at with it.
Rockets already trying to trade his ass.
That's where I feel on that. But
nobody gonna take him.
Well, trade him to Rikers Island. Like trade him to Rikers.
They trying to close Rikers.
Who they get in return from Rikers?
There's a lot of Joe Bob boys in the yard. Right?
Rudy Giuliani.
I'm pretty sure there's somebody there who's wrongfully. I'm pretty sure, knowing that it's Rikers, I'm pretty sure there's somebody there wrongfully incarcerated that could really play better and bust his ass more than him. You know, let's send him straight to Rikers. And I'm pretty sure there's some men over there. There's some men there that haven't seen their wives and girlfriends in months and would love a chance to talk about what a millionaire does with his spare time. I
like
love
being duct taped in.
You know, yeah, it's Tavia's tea time. You can say the rest.
Oh, duct taped in ass.
Nah.
She gave me permission.
Lord.
Don't give me no mic. Know what I'm gonna do with it.
You know I'm gonna do with it.
You know what? I don't know what the hell is going on with these streets. I'm outside so much. My nickname should be Air. But at the end of the day, we're getting into
Aaron Infinity.
Yo, what is going on? What is going on right now?
The new Jordan Air Infinities.
Queen, you said we are going to talk about. We're going to finally have a quick discussion about how Pete actually lost his virginity on TV.
So, Peter, I know that
Pete's going to tell the story.
Peter, God. I know that you're usually long-winded. Keep it. I want to hear how everybody lost it.
Oh my God.
Okay, so long story short, my grandfather, God rest his soul, my father's father had a, I guess you could say, tradition. He only had two sons, my father and my uncle. But apparently back in the old neighborhood, my grandfather and them grew up on East 100th Street in El Barrio on the east side of Harlem. He had grown up with a woman who later ended up becoming a madam. So she ended up owning a brothel, whatever.
In Queens.
And
make sure you add that.
Right. And so my grandfather had taken, I guess, my father and my uncle when they turned into men, in his opinion, and, exposed them to this. And so I was kind of the last of the Mohicans, so to speak, because there was no other. My uncle hadn't had a kid yet, and all my aunts had moved away. So my grandfather didn't really have any, closest to anyone. I was the only one close. And so when I became a man, in his opinion, my birthday present was he took me on a trip, and we went to this person's house. And, as he reconnected with his friend, it was, go in there and, pick one of the girls.
Reconnected with his friend?
They literally, this is what I remember. This lady bringing out 2 cups of coffee and them sitting at a table and just talking, and my grandfather just saying, go and, pick somebody and whatever. And I didn't know what the hell was going on at the time. I had a very
So who did you pick?
That's what I want to know. Like? I gotta hear this. This is the
part that I don't.
Key for me.
Please.
It's
lemon zing, No,
I don't remember. I don't remember all of that. I don't remember all of that. I just
you don't remember.
I definitely did not know her name. I don't remember her name even.
You didn't know her name?
You had no. I'm sure she gave me a name at the time, but I don't remember it.
Can you describe how she looked?
What
visuals.
did she look like, Peter?
That's what we want to
The
know.
only thing I remember is that she was young looking and Latina. That's it.
That's all.
That is all. That is all
I
I
was
remember.
counting on her to be. I don't know why I was counting on more. I was looking for a 5'5".
That's all I know.
Bronze, probably got the little red hair going. Like
I
something
thought
like
red hair too.
I don't know why.
I definitely thought
red
hair,
hair.
like maybe a braid or something.
Yeah, I
like
thought red
something.
hair.
I've never dated a redhead in my life.
You live in the Bronx. I don't believe you.
Never dated a redhead in my life. I can tell you,
So-
I can literally run down a list of all the women that I've never dated a redhead in my life. In fact, I've only ever dated, besides my current girlfriend, I've only ever dated 4 women who were not Latina.
I don't.
That's
You
it.
don't strike me as dating Spanish people. I'm
2
Me
Italian,
neither. Me
two
like, I'm
Italian
always
girls.
like
2
when
Italian
you
girls.
when you
one
popped up with
Irish
your girlfriend,
girl.
I wasn't shocked. When you
I
popped up
was
with your girlfriend,
not shocked that he
I was
popped up
not
with a black
shocked
girl either.
at
I wasn't
all.
shocked.
I was
She
shocked she was
was-
West
But you see,
Indian,
we
but I wasn't
different,
shocked
Matt,
that she
we
was black.
different.
She's the first.
We
She's the
different, Matt.
first. Yeah, she's the first black woman that I've
That you
like
took seriously.
fully on.
What
that
you
I know
gonna
that
say?
I full
That you
on
took
dated.
serious?
No,
Uh-huh.
that I
Why
full
you-
on. That I
Tread
full on
lightly.
We're
dated.
just good. We're just
Tread
good for you to.
lightly.
We're just
Tread
good
lightly.
for you.
Stay
No,
quiet.
so no,
Uh-huh.
I'm dead ass with it. The black women that I have been attracted to in my life were not attracted to me.
Have been what?
Stop.
Were not attracted to me.
Oh, okay. That's always the excuse.
Like
Good,
so when I was in college, like the thing was, it was like, cause like I kind of came up in this weird space, right? I don't want to say in a time area because not everybody's the same, but the spaces that I existed in, the
Bronx.
black women. Well, no, like when I was in college and stuff like that, the spaces that I existed in and the people that I was around and affiliated with, the
Well,
black
geeks.
women.
I might lose service because I'm going in the tunnel. But
The
keep
black
going.
women that
Because the next person who's gonna go is Dre.
the black women that I was around at the time were the type
Witness to yourself. Yes.
were the type
Go ahead, Pete.
were the black women that I was around at that time and in the spaces that I was in were the black women that at that time in their lives were like anti-dating anyone who was light skinned. It was like black women date black men. That's it. At that, and again, these are just the women I was around and I was exposed to at that time period of my life.
What was this?
So-
the 90s or the 80s?
Well, no, even in the early, I was in Syracuse from 08 to 12. And even when I was in high school, so I mean, between the years of maybe I would say 2005 to 2000 and maybe 12, like just the people that I was in circles with, the people that I was exposed to, the people that I knew, the black women that I was around were very much the type type of mind frame that they didn't date anybody that was light skinned. So even though I was Puerto Rican Cuban, it was just like, no, you're not black enough to be seen as somebody that I would date, which I respect. And listen, to each their own. It is what it is.
So you would have been a sponsor.
So
they would have treated you like a sponsor.
So for me, when I did date dark skinned women, most of them were Caribbean Latinas who were like Dominican but very, very dark skinned, or Puerto Rican and very, very dark skinned. And that's kind of what it was. But so my girlfriend currently is like the first full on like black woman that I have dated. I've been in situationships with black women, but never somebody that they've dated. But this is the first relationship that I'm in. I've dated 2 Italian girls, an Irish girl, and the rest were either Dominican, Puerto Rican. I think I dated 2 Ecuadorians in my life, 1 Colombian, and that was it. I've had situationships with women of different backgrounds. Like I've been in a situationship with one woman who was Polish and one woman who was Jewish, but never situations where.
Sorry.
Never situations.
I gotta relax. I'm sorry.
In that, so yeah.
Yeah. So just as a thought, it looks kind of crazy that we do a Tavia's tea time and it's just us 3 on here. I feel like this might end up happening at some point in time if Tay is ever just like not on the show. like for
yo, Eric. Though I will tell you though, my strikeout list is heavy. I to this day cannot tell you how I've pulled some of the women that I've pulled. Cannot tell you for the life of me. For the life of me, I cannot tell you how I pulled my current girlfriend. No, because I was a broke motherfucker for a very, very long time. Nope, I was a broke mofo for a very, very long time.
Rich said Pete doing that better than me. So
and yeah. And the women that I wanted women that I wanted to pull.
145.
There are women in my life over the course of like my 36 years on this planet that like I've been attracted to and wanted to pull and did not. I'm also the king. I've also been the king of meeting somebody, running into somebody later on in life and getting the whole like, oh, I had such a crush on you. No, shut up. You should have said something back then. I don't want to hear it now.
Right. Fuck that. Nobody want to hear that. Nobody want to hear that now. Nobody want to hear that bullshit now.
Like you over here married with two kids, and you want to tell me, when we was in high school, I had a crush on you. Well, why didn't you say something in high school?
Oh yeah, I had that happen for a while, but
I had that happen too. I spent the block. I spent the fucking block. I spent the goddamn block.
Since we were talking about Virginia, I'm gonna wait until Tay comes back on to tell her my story. Matt, how did you?
She said you next.
Right, but she's not on and she wants to hear it. So you need to go.
God, I hope my girlfriend ain't listening to this show right now.
Oh well, listen.
This is not gonna go good.
It's your turn, bro.
I mean, it's not like this lives forever in audio form on websites or anything. So we're good.
Or in my phone, so I can.
It really is.
So
why you don't give me a goddamn mic? God damn.
Right, Matt. Don't be long with it. When did?
I was 12. I was not in Kings Plaza, Grizz. You gotta relax. I was not in Kings Plaza, but shit. And I got a text message. So I'm pretty sure she is listening.
Doesn't matter. Keep talking.
She's like, "Oh, you didn't tell me this one."
Yeah,
that's not what you told me.
Yeah. So Matt, go ahead, tell your story.
She says she's listening.
Okay, good.
Fuck. Nope. Good. Tavia's back. Dre's your turn. Go ahead, let her in. Dre, it's your turn. It's your turn. Go ahead.
Peter talked that whole time.
Yes.
No, we was waiting for you.
He did talk the whole time.
We was waiting for you.
And I was gonna go to Matt because we was waiting. I know you was waiting for me.
Yep. Go ahead, Dre.
But you came back, so I guess it's my turn now, right?
Yes.
All right. So, the girl I lost my virginity to, her name was Tisha, right?
What are you doing?
Her name was
You lost your virginity to a T-shirt? What?
Tisha. Her name was Tisha.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
She lived in
So hold up, we're just team fuck Tisha right now. That's what we're doing right now.
Can I finish my story? Thank you.
Don't give Dre a mic.
Right. So don't give me a mic. Right. Tisha lived in some of the projects. Me and my boy Tony.
What are you doing?
We met this chick, right? Right. He was messing with her friend. I was the wingman. I wasn't even supposed to talk to this girl. I was just there to take one for the team, right? A virgin at the time. She said she was a quote unquote virgin at the time. We were chatting it up.
Not quote unquote.
Right.
I'm
gonna tell you why it says quote unquote, right? So we're talking about getting into it. I'm not. And we're both virgins, right? She says, some randomly, "Oh, I like to be on top." Excuse me, miss. How do you like to be on top if you never had none before? So she started giggling, that nervous giggle. Yeah. I'm like, whatever. This is my opportunity to get some. I'm gonna take it as is, right?
How old were you?
16.
Okay, that's acceptable.
Right. Unlike these two who were sexually assaulted at the bottom of our screen.
How old were you, Matt?
Matt said he was 12.
Oh my God.
Right. So I spoke to we were chatting. So I'm like, all right, real, soul R&B-ish. I'm thinking this is my first time, so I gotta set the mood. So
can't get enough of your love, babe.
Yo, I got the house with candles in it, right? I set my room up with candles and everything. Got the music playing and everything.
It was really Gerald Levert.
Yo, real Gerald Levert like, right? Real Gerald Levert like. And she get there. We start getting into it. And I hate to do this to this girl. Actually, no, I don't hate to do this to this girl.
You said the girl name and where she lives at.
Like, where she used to live at, right? This girl felt like the Holland Tunnel. Bro.
Yo,
like,
yo,
like,
oh shit, yo.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Oh, he's walling.
Goodbye. I'm done. No, I'm not doing it. Goodbye. Sorry.
Wow.
To say that that was probably my worst experience, or was my first experience. Now that was it. My worst
my Lord.
Was my first.
I'm not
my first experience.
bro. I'm not.
And
I refuse.
Yeah. He definitely had it. It was an easy pass. Blew right through the tunnel.
Yo, this is wallet. He's wallet.
Yeah, Tay asked. I get.
He's wallet. This nigga.
I think we've gotten closer today as a podcast.
Yo. Yo. I'm weak. Damn.
We're currently experiencing technical difficulties. I'm going to take
Listen,
this time
it
to,
was asked. The queen asked, and I obliged. I know I just be sitting here chilling, letting y'all rock.
No.
She asked me to talk.
You.
No.
It's in situations like this, Dre, where you embellish. You leave out certain details.
She asked, and I told her, this is for live. I don't care. I edit the show. I'm gonna keep it in here too. So yeah,
I need therapy after this, and I'm in therapy.
You need therapy, and you lost your virginity to a prostitute, bro? Like, I don't understand. Like,
I need
get a grip. What he said was not that bad.
Well, apparently she didn't have a grip,
and that's
because she was the Highland Tunnel.
Did you ever go back for seconds?
No.
All right, so then that works. Now, if you would have went back to the easy pass, then that's on you.
And then, his bonus content, right? His DLC content for y'all, right?
Oh, but wait, there's more.
I was fully protected, well protected, wear the strap. She's like, I think I'm pregnant. I was like, how do you know? She's like, oh, I feel pregnant.
How old was she?
She was the same age as me.
Yo, she was a little touch.
She was
a thought pocket, boy. The ham and cheese.
For sure.
Yo, P, you ain't never lied. Matt's room looks impeccable.
Immaculate.
I ain't never seen this much light in Matt's room.
Like that.
Matt,
can I be happy? Can I be happy?
But when I first went to your house in Pennsylvania, it looked like we was in the Bat Cave. So
it's crazy. That's how we feel.
So Matt, did you tell yours yet?
No, he was waiting for your turn. See, mine's is quick and straight to the point. Matt, yours gotta be like that too.
Well, apparently in more ways than one.
Well, hey, wait. First of all, I didn't say I was quick. Hold on, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. I didn't say I was quick. I said it was just.
God. He is on fire today. I don't know what's going on. This nigga is wild right now. Oh,
Matt, go ahead. Tell your story. I'm put my mic on mute.
Matt had to buy his some E&J before everything started, apparently.
You talking about my girl now, or you talking about back then?
No, probably the first one. Some Mad Dog 2020 Russian chick behind the bar. Like, let me show you how it's done.
Wow. Actually, I wasn't that bad at 12. I was very much into my basketball playing. So,
yo, Randy, dead ass though, when she had the lips look like Batman wings. Nah,
y'all wildin'. I ain't even. Yeah. All right. So how I lost mine is kind of sad because I didn't know what was going on. I was 12 years old. All I knew was basketball, right? So I got home from, all my tournaments, and I think it was from Riverbank. So I was coming from Riverbank. I got
I used to
home.
play at Riverbank too.
Yeah, my girlfriend at the time was 2 years older than me. She, I guess, got wind or got news. Well, she was moving. I didn't know she was moving. She didn't tell me nothing. So how my house is set up, I had the basement floor, so I can go outside through the backyard or whatever, right? So she told me she two-way text me to meet her in the backyard. So I go to the backyard, kissing or whatever. She threw me to the steps and like she put a condom on me, but I didn't know what a condom was at 12 years old. I didn't know nothing. So she puts the condom on, she gets on top of me. Feels warm. Don't know what the fuck is going on. I really don't know what's going on. I'm just into the kissing, but she's grinding on me, right? I'm telling her, get off, I have to pee.
Oh my God.
She kept going. I'm like, yo, I got to pee. Get off of me. I'm going to pee on you, right? She kept going. I tried to push her off. She was strong, right? Next thing you know, I peed in what I thought was the balloon. It was a condom. I peed in the balloon.
Wait, real pee?
No, it wasn't pee. Let me finish the story.
Okay.
So she gets off of me. She starts crying. So now I'm scared because I'm like, oh shit, I just peed on my girlfriend, right? That's what I'm thinking. I'm 12 years old. I want everybody to realize I'm really 12 years old. I don't know what the fuck is going on, right? And then she was just like, I'm just sorry. I'm like, what do you? I'm like, I told you I had to pee. Again, the shit's still on me, but I'm trying to cater to her. So she leaves, right? I look at the balloon and it's white. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? Right? I'm scared as shit now because now I think I got AIDS. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I peed white stuff. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm fucked up right now. I go in the house. I go to my cousin and I'm like, yo, I gotta go to the hospital. And he's like, my cousin, he's a nigga from the Bronx. That's how we move, right? So he's like, what the fuck is you talking about? I said, yo, such and such, I'm not gonna be like Dre, he's a hot boy. I'm not saying no names. I'm like, she threw me on the ground, she threw me onto the steps, and she got on top of me, and she was on me, we was kissing, and I told her I had to pee, and then I peed this. So he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I'm like, yo, she got on top of me. He's like, yo, hold up. You was inside. Describe what the feeling was. I was like, it was warm. So he was like, you didn't see what the hell was going on? I'm like, no. So he's like, nigga, shut the fuck up. I'm like, why? He's like, so he shows me porn. This is my first time seeing porn.
Oh, now we go to porn.
Yeah, this is my first time seeing porn. So now I see the white stuff, the cum shot, right? I see that. And I'm like, wow, that's what it is. He's like, yeah, congratulations, you're a man. I'm like, oh, right? So now I'm getting the birds and the bees talk. So now I just found out I had sex for the first time. Didn't get to enjoy it because I thought I had to pee. She moved 2 days later. End of the story. I got raped. See?
Damn, it turned into a sad. I thought
it was sad because she moved. I didn't even get to make up for it. Like I don't watch like 2 of the Ghetto Booties 4 tapes. I was prepared this time, and she was gone.
I'm moving 2 days later. It's funny, bro. I don't care. Oh man, this is gonna be the highest rated episode of your sports show ever, y'all.
And we haven't talked about sports yet.
I told you it was sad. Y'all didn't want to listen to me.
I feel like this could have been content that we would have found like on the Spice Channel or Skinamax. Okay, I feel like Matt was one of those dudes hitting the red button on the back of the cable box.
Bro, I didn't know what was going on. I told her, yo, I had to pee, yo. I had to pee. I dropped mad Gatorade that day. So I'm like worried. I'm thinking I scared the shit out of her because I peed on her. It's just
Queen.
I was 12.
Queen, are you going to tell us your story, or we going to have to wait till next week for your story?
I think she's befuddled. I don't know.
She's just at
this was a lot. And we didn't even talk sports yet. This is
Oh God. I feel like I didn't know what the fuck I was asking for, dude.
Clearly.
I didn't know. I don't know. Dre had the most normal story. All right. You guys really want to hear mine is boring as hell.
Yes, I mean, Queen, you have to.
Hold on. Wait, she gonna be going to what?
He's saying going to November. Fucking asshole. Fucking God damn it.
Still hear me?
Yes.
All right. So unlike you guys who are like underage, I was 22 when I lost mine, and I lost mine to my ex-husband. He made it really special. You know, it was my first time. It was probably his 5,000th time, but it was my first. And all I know is that
5,000, goddamn, bro.
All I know
with Wilt Chamberlain.
What the fuck is going on right now? I don't know what we doing.
I don't
know how we even got here. Like,
well, we got here and we're here, and
I'm gonna tell the story, then I have to bounce because I made my destination. I'm going into the shade, even though I'm outside. You know.
Yes, go right into the shade. Right,
I'm going into the shade. But I was 22. We had been dating for a while, and I was like, you know what? I believe it's time, and it was time.
Wait.
And
I believe it's time.
That had
a corporate conversation. I believe it's time.
It was a corporate conversation. It was kind of planned out. Like we were going to go here. It was going to be this. You know, took me to a really nice dinner. Really had the whole thing decked out, and it took a long time. And then I lost my virginity to the X Factor by Lauryn Hill, and that ended up being like the signature song of our relationship. So premonitions. Premonitions everywhere.
What the fuck is going on, yo?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining our probably the last episode of Tavia's Tea Time. Hang it up after this.
Oh man,
that was great, Queen.
Now I'm gonna have to have a conversation with my goddamn girlfriend.
Thank you for changing the topic from what we were going to talk about definitely to this. This was way better than what we were about to talk about.
Stay tuned for the next potentially episode of Tavia's Tea Time. Dre might cancel me. I'm not sure.
No,
but this is Air Affinity signing off.
Hi, Queen.
I don't.
Since we all,
I don't know how we go forward from here. I don't.
I was 12.
We move forward.
So was I, but I mean, I was 13. But goddamn,
I didn't know.
Listen, guys.
I didn't know.
Here's how we move forward. We go into pick 5 and pretend this part of the show did happen.
Well, this is gonna get edited, I hope, right? Please edit this.
No, it's staying on. So, ladies and gentlemen, the new and improved pick 5. Let's get into it.
Sorry.
Everybody's face still look hurt. But what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to pick 5. for those who don't know, Pick 5 is a game that we play. We've been playing it for the last 3 years. Pete won last year. Matt won the first year? No.
I won both
Tavia
goddamn years.
He won last
year
year.
one.
He won last year. No, he won last
and it
year,
was
and he
a
tied
tie
with
in year
Tay.
two.
Yes. So, and I have, I've been in third or last place each of the years that we played. But that's neither here or there. The Pick 5, we pick 5 games throughout the week based on the level of importance. And, and we try to predict who the winners are at the end of the year. The person with the best standings is the winner and gets bragging rights. If somebody ties this year, we have agreed that the two people who are tied will slap box for the winner. So, with week 1, the results of week 1, Tay and Matt went 4-1. Pete went 1-4. I went 0-5. Yeah, that was
at least. Listen, you still had a better week. Okay, Dre. You still had a better week than that guy in fantasy football who went into Monday Night Football literally, what was it? 75%, 75 hundredths of a point away from winning. I think he had 119.25 and the other guy had 120 points.
Right.
You had a 99.9% chance of winning the week. And he had Aaron Rodgers as a starting quarterback on Monday Night Football and lost by 0.75 points. You still had a better week than he did.
Way better week than he did.
My week sucked. You know why it sucked.
Yeah, and we'll get to that later on. We'll get to that in a little bit. But quickly, I want to go through the games that we picked for this week. It is Vikings, Eagles, Ravens, Bengals, Chiefs, Jags, Rams, 49ers, and Jets, Cowboys. We have made our picks already. We've made our picks already, but for those who don't know, we all picked the Eagles. I believe I know I picked the Ravens between the Ravens and the Bengals. Pete,
as did I.
And
I picked the Ravens as well.
You picked the Ravens. Matt picked the Bengals. Tay picked the Bengals. For the Niners and the Rams, I think we all picked the Niners.
Yep.
And the Jets and the Cowboys, I believe that one was split too.
I picked the Cowboys in that game.
I picked the Cowboys. I think Tay picked the Jets. And Matt, who did you pick?
Cowboys.
Picked the Cowboys. No, everybody picked the Cowboys. I'm lying. So the only game really separating us this week is the Ravens-Bengals game.
Well, you got one more game. You didn't get the last one. You got Eagles, Ravens, Niners, Cowboys.
Yeah, Rams, Niners.
That's one.
I said Eagles. Eagles, Vikings, Ravens, Bengals, Chiefs, Jack. Oh,
there you go.
I think we all picked the Chiefs, right? Pretty sure we all picked the Chiefs. Chiefs, right? So yeah,
double checking right now. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
I have it written now. Yeah. We all. The only game separating us this week is the Bengals and the Bengals and the Ravens, and the reason why I believe so because we don't know about the situations on both teams. Lamar Jackson lost his star running back, and his number one target is still questionable this week. And with the Bengals, Joe Burrow is still kind of shaky after his week 1 performance playing while he was hurt. So, Pete, why did you pick the Ravens? Because you're notoriously good for not picking the Ravens. Ravens this week.
I just feel like the Ravens looked better in week 1 than the Bengals did. Like when you look at the way Joe Burrow played, it looked really, really bad. They lost 24-3 against the Bengals. 24-3. That's like ridiculous. Burrow was held to 82 yards. Okay. 82 yards. Jamar Chase
real quick.
had 39 yards on 5 receptions.
I don't think Joe Burrows looked bad. I just felt like it's the same problem that he's been having. He has no protection, bro. So it's hard to sit there and say Joe Burrow played bad when he's getting hit like Russell Wilson. Let's be real.
So we're saying the Browns are that good.
Huh?
So the Browns are that good.
I think everybody slept on the Browns. And everybody was just so convinced that Deshaun Watson was going to be like mediocre, and he wasn't mediocre. He just I think everybody just slept on the Browns, bro. I don't think that they're a bad team. I don't think that they're a great team. I just honestly think that they took advantage of that line. That line is trash. His line has always been trash, and they got help
more than that.
But I'm just
more than that.
Yeah,
Six
I know.
first downs for the Bengals. 6 first downs for the Bengals in that whole game. 21 for the Browns. The Bengals were 2 for 15 on third down. They had 54 total plays to 72 for the Browns. And for all of that about the line, the Bengals line only allowed 2 sacks. They only allowed 2 sacks.
I'm
Time
not
of
posting that
possession.
comment.
Do not put that up. Do
I'm
not
putting
put that up.
That's crazy.
Grizz, you gotta relax.
Yeah, you gotta chill.
You gotta relax.
Yeah.
We are not giving you a mic for that.
Yeah,
one.
that's no good, bro. No good.
You wildin'.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think the Browns are going to be exposed this week playing the Chiefs, but I don't think they're that good that they're better than the Bengals by 21 points, 24-3. And that to me was the biggest thing when you think about how bad it was. When I look at the Ravens week 1 game, they played the Houston Texans, and 25-9. When you look at the statistics in that game, I mean, you had Lamar Jackson went 17 for 22 for 169 yards at 38 yards rushing. He didn't, he had to do the best that he could. And if anybody's going to do a lot with nothing, it's going to be Lamar Jackson. It really is. I mean, they were really outplayed in almost every capacity. They 3 less yards than the Texans total. They had 41 less passing yards than the Bengals. They had a couple more rushing yards. They were tied in first downs. So I think, and they were terrible in the penalty game. The Ravens had 13 penalties for a loss of 106 yards. I think this is going to be a meeting of 2 teams that can be very good but are not very good yet. I just feel like the Ravens are gonna take this one because the Ravens did more with less in week 1. The Bengals did nothing with everything, and that's a problem. I agree with Grizz. I don't feel excited about the Ravens this year, but I'm gonna be same thing. I don't think that the Bengals doing less with more bothered me.
Matt, your reason for picking the Bengals?
Honestly, I always thought that Chris is stupid. I'm sorry, but honestly, I just feel like the Ravens' defense is still suspect to me. So I don't expect the Bengals to have Joe Burrows to have 2 bad games back to back. I do expect for him to bounce back because you know what type of caliber player he is. So I don't know. I feel like the Ravens got to show me something before I can fully get invested in the fact of the pickup that they got with OBJ and the others. So, granted, Lamar Jackson has targets now, but his defense is still trash. And you gotta hold Joe Burrows, which shouldn't be hard because that line is so damn trash. But I do feel like he's gonna bounce back from the first game. That's just my opinion.
All right. I mean, we're gonna have to see. Just like
again, the Ravens didn't have Mark Andrews week 1 either.
Right, they didn't.
You had Zay Flowers as the leading receiver on that team, 9 receptions for 78 yards. So if you get Mark Andrews back and you continue to integrate Zay Flowers into that offense, Odell finding his way back into an offensive groove as well. He had 2 receptions for 37 yards. When you're thinking of it like that, I mean, if they get Mark Andrews back, they could be dangerous again because they're doing more with less. You still had a Bengals team. This was a Bengals team that had Jamar Chase, that had Joe Mixon, that had all the offensive weapons that they needed, and they still were only able to score 3 points.
Yeah. Couldn't protect the cold. He got to have some time to get the ball off.
And Andrews did practice fully this week. He did practice fully this week, and he is considered to be a play, for week 2.
So he's expected to play. I believe the Ravens will do a lot better this week. But again, here are the games. Once again, Vikings, Eagles, Ravens, Bengals, Chiefs, Jaguars, Rams, 49ers, Jets, and Cowboys. For those who want to play along with
Lamar
us.
Jackson, 6-1 against Cincinnati all time, by the way.
Hey. For those who want to play with us, those are the games, and the results will come out on Tuesday, and then the next week's games will come out on Wednesday. But let's get into what?
You gotta relax. That was wild. Those that want to play with us, you got to stop. You got to be stopped.
Oh, you made it that way. Those who want to play along the game with us, yes. So anyway, let's get into today's main topic right now. So, today's main topic, it's the title of the show. The Kang is on the way. The Kang is on the way to Paris in 2024. And here's the reason why the Kang is on the way.
There you go.
The U.S. and FIBA, who are notoriously bad in FIBA,
Cocoa butter out.
They came in 4th. They lost to Canada in the bronze medal game. And after the game, it was reports that LeBron and others, including Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, amongst others, are interested in playing in Paris to kind of defend the honor of the U.S. With that being said, if LeBron and friends are to come and play again, in the Olympics, I've been saying it's going to look like 92 because of the quality and talent of them. But Matt, do you think that the world would be ready for that team with LeBron, KD, Steph, Dre, Tatum, Booker, and amongst others?
First of all, 2 things. 1, stop calling it LeBron and friends. I don't like that at all. He's not Iron Man. Stop. He's not Captain Planet. You got to relax. That's what we're doing. That's 1. 2, announce his name right. It's Light Skin Jesus. God damn it, Dre, you know it already. It's Light Skin Jesus.
Matthew.
We pray on it. We just you know what?
I don't pray on no man. So
that's a problem. You need to get sanctified.
Anyway, Matt, go. What do you think? Are the US going to run through the rest of the world?
Light Skin Jesus, Kevin Durant, Street Clothes Davis, LeBron James. Yeah. Who's stopping anybody on that team? Who's stopping anybody? Kevin Durant and Steph Curry alone, we already saw what they could do together. You want to add LeBron James, who's virtually unstoppable. Honestly, I don't foresee Anthony Davis being healthy enough to even get on a flight. He might catch a flu or a virus and can't make the trip. I don't see that happening at all. I don't even know why we even mentioned Anthony Davis. But
the thing that can stop LeBron, right?
Chris gotta stop. But no, I don't. 90. Yeah, I feel like it'll be better than 92. That's just my opinion.
Pete, your thoughts?
I don't know why people are not making as big of a deal about the point I'm about to make. The fact that the NBA, or the United States, I should say, needs players of that caliber in order to be successful, right? Like, let's talk about the ego of it. The United States needs to trot out the top 5 of the NBA in order to be competitive on a world stage, instead of realizing that the world is actually caught up to you. Because if you take LeBron out, if you take Curry out, if you take Durant out, if you take those top 5, top 10 players in the league out of the contention of being able to play for these teams, this is what we're getting. And this is why every time we have an NBA conversation about people being great and about people being this is why we constantly in 2023 are still having conversations about how we cannot put people in this generation or this era of the NBA on the same pedestal as we put players in the old NBA. Because here's the thing. You could have taken players outside of the top 10 of the NBA back then and still had a winning team. Granted, the world stage wasn't as good. But the world stage has gotten better. And it is time for the NBA to realize that it is no longer dependent on homegrown American talent. And your talent is now elsewhere, right? So it is time for you to start raising the level of competitiveness for your homegrown talent. Luka Doncic, okay? Guys like RJ Barrett, these are guys playing for other teams. Other parts of the world. Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of your top 10 players in the NBA, would not play for Team NBA in a situation like this. So at the end of the day, we are starting to go the way – the NBA is starting to go the way of soccer in the sense that they are not admitting the fact that they are not doing a good enough job at recruiting and having high-level USA-born players in the league. And when you go into international competition, you are getting embarrassed. There is no reason why we should have been losing in the semis. And then what was even more embarrassing was the way we gave up in the bronze medal game. Like, that was embarrassing as well. You know, it's ridiculous. We helped raise the world stage when we had Jordan and Bird and Magic and all of them playing on our Olympics teams, playing on our national teams. We made the world say we have to get better to compete with them. And now the world has gotten better to the fact where the world stage supplies the NBA, not the other way around. And we can't seem to admit we need to be better. Because LeBron James should not have to play for this team to be successful. AD, Steph Curry, Durant should not have to play for this league to be successful. I mean, for this team to be successful in international play. And to me, that's a larger problem. We're going to go out there and we're going to have LeBron and them go out and play. And yeah, they're going to dominate. And we're going to win a gold medal. And we're going to win a FIBA. We're going to get this and we're going to get that. But and no one's going to sit there and admit the truth. We needed the next level of players. We needed the untouchables, the once in a generations to win. And that to me is the bigger problem. Yes, Randy, you are 100% correct. And that's what I'm trying to talk on, right? Like, that's the point I'm trying to make here. We had players in America that made the world say we need to get better. And now they've gotten better. And just like everything else in America, just like everything else, America was once the number one in manufacturing. Then the world got better than us, and we just said, "Oh, well, I guess we're just going to export. We're going to import from out of country." We were number one in it. We were one of the top countries in education. We've done slipped. We were one of the top countries in producing people in certain fields. We don't do that anymore. The concept of America being the place that produces some of the best has steadily and very quickly stopped. And it is now affecting basketball. It affected baseball. It's affected basketball. And the only sport it has not affected is football, because American football is not a world sport.
So Steve Kerr said something along the lines of what you said. As much as, America would want, the Avengers to come and save the day, Steve Kerr is more He wants to build that younger talent. He wants to build that core of actually playing. I think what was wrong with this USA team is that, and just like what is wrong sometimes in the NBA, is that instead of getting big men, you get players that can play big men and then get dogged out by players who are big men. And this is exactly what happened to them. Once they got out-rebounded, they lost. Steve Kerr said this. Once you get out, if you out-rebound us or you get more possessions than us, you will beat us. And that is exactly what they did. That is exactly what they did. But we're going to move on from this topic. We're going to go into a new segment where Matt is going to talk about his beloved JETS mess. And he'll probably have a question for us. Right? No, Matt?
Sure. I hate
right,
you. You said you was running it this time because I'm in mourning.
Nope. I changed my mind. Let's go.
Is Brooklyn in here tonight?
I hate you so much for this. So much. I hate you for this. We had such high hopes. Pete, we had such high hopes. And Tavia cursed us. She cursed us, and the unthinkable happened. The GOAT is out for a year with a torn Achilles. 4 plays into the NFL season. And we're stuck with Zach Wilson.
Again.
Fucking Zach Wilson. Fucking God damn it. I know I'm supposed to ask a question. I just want to know why. Why us, Pete? Why? Chad Pennington, Vinny Testaverde, and now Aaron Rodgers. I'm sick of it. Why? Why does this always happen to us?
I mean, Jet fans drove Pennington out of town. Jet fans drove Pennington out of town. That's what happened with Pennington. I love Chad Pennington. Vinny was just old, which, hey, we got the best we could out of Vinny at that age, but it was what it was. This one legitimately hurt. Because this one was just like, we put all our eggs in this basket. And I mean all of our eggs, because we hired Nathaniel Hackett because Aaron Rodgers knew that system. And that's where Aaron Rodgers was successful. And now we have a guy in Zach Wilson who was already going through growing pains and now has to sit here and learn the system of Nathaniel Hackett's that by definition is complicated and had trouble learning the systems he was already in. And now he has to learn a brand new system on the fly. And a quarterback learning a brand new system is always tough.
Fucking Zach. Fuck. You saw this coming, Pete.
All right.
You saw it coming.
Matt is not asking the question. You take too long to ask the question. So
I want to ask the question because I got to answer.
Is it so with this new segment, Yerrr or Nah? If it's something that we agree to, we say Yerrr. If it's something that we don't agree to, we will say Nah. So the question is, are the Jets' playoff hopes scrapped with Aaron Rodgers not being at the head of it? Pete?
It's a 100% Yerrr. I mean, I don't expect the Jets to make the playoffs. And I feel like the Jets should, to some degree, just realize, hey, let's use this as an opportunity to get great draft position for next year, draft the top level guy, maybe even a quarterback, maybe try to get even Caleb Williams. We can get the number 1 pick and have the worst record. I would rather us have a top 5 pick with Aaron Rodgers motivated to come back next year and prepare our team by filling the holes that we know that are there and are going to be there. If we can get a top 5 quarterback in the draft and be like, hey, you got to sit for a year behind Aaron Rodgers because we know Aaron Rodgers maybe only has a year or 2 left. or we can get a star defensive player or a star offensive line player or a star wide receiver to pair with Garrett Wilson. I'd rather do that because the thing is, if we go out there and still try to, I don't think we're going to be competitive with Zach Wilson offensively. You know, the defense is great. We know this.
Yeah, we beat Buffalo, which I said we would, Pete. I want you to say Matthew was right about that. Let me hear that. I did tell you Josh Allen is not it. He's not. He fumbled the bag literally in that game. So let's just be. Can I at least get a little bit of transparency? I might have been right if Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt. I would have been right. The conference would have been our ceiling. Mm-hmm. I would have been right. That defense is way too elite.
When I look at our schedule, I don't think we beat the Cowboys this week. I don't think the Cowboys are as good as they were in week 1, but I don't think we beat them this week.
The Giants.
Still that was 40-0. That's something, right?
It's the Giants. It's the Giants. We saw.
The Patriots,
I told you that was coming.
The Patriots is a toss-up, but it's less of a lock right now. I don't think we beat the Chiefs. I don't think we beat the Broncos. I don't think we beat the Eagles. The Giants game is a toss-up depending on how each team recovers. Like if I'm looking at this, there's maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 winnable games this year. And that's the Patriots. Maybe we split with the Patriots now that it's Zach Wilson. The Giants game, depending on how the Giants recover. The Raiders, the Falcons, the Texans, and the Commanders. That's it.
Point out to Kirk Cousins over.
That's it. At this point, I only see us having 6 winnable games this season, and that's at best. At best.
Matt,
fucking curse.
Yerrr or nah? Are the playoff hopes for the Jets done?
I hate you so much for this.
I just need a Yerrr or nah. I need a Yerrr or nah.
Fucking Yerrr. Just Yerrr.
So why Yerrr, Matt? Please explain.
You know our Yerrr. We are fucking cursed. I don't understand why it happens to us. It happens all the fucking time. We get some level of hope and something bad fucking follows. It's worse than the fucking Cowboys. It's worse than the fucking Red Sox before they won a goddamn World Series. I don't fucking understand
worse than the Cowboys a little bit.
Jesus fucking shit.
I'm going to be opposite, and I'm going to say nah. And the reason why I'm saying nah is because the teams, the AFC is a little shaky right now.
Week 2.
Still, the AFC is still a little shaky. I feel like I seen the Dolphins, but I believe the Jets defense is better than the Dolphins offense. Based on what I've seen already, I feel like the Jets will be like the Mark Sanchez Jets. And here's what I mean by that, right? Here's what I mean by that. By them being so touted on the defensive side, the offense won't have to do as much. They will be able to focus more on the run and short, inky-dink passes rather than
that's all he could do.
Rather than trying to throw bombs the whole time. Right?
Yeah, but he's still making bad decisions. He's still and this is something that Troy Aikman and Peyton Manning and a lot of the analysts even said with the interception that he threw in that game against the Bills. He's still making bad decisions that you should not see a quarterback in his 3rd year of experience making. He's still making the decisions that he should not be making at this level.
Right. Coming to the show, we have the People's Chant. Randy, what's going on?
I just wanted to stop briefly to chat with you fellas because I ain't gonna front. This sports talk has been getting me going. I just wanted to hop on and just talk shop for real. So, but I know you guys are talking about Zach Wilson. So as it pertains to Zach, on the real, I think with him, what should have happened is the fact that Aaron Rodgers should have had him, like been the tutor around him the entire season. But unfortunately, because of the fact that the Achilles situation happened, doesn't mean the train does stop in that situation. I'm pretty sure after Aaron gets his surgery, done, he'll be probably close with the team, or at least try to be in Zach Wilson's ear. Because for that franchise, he's still relatively young. And as Pete says, yeah, he's in his third year and makes mistakes, but so have many other quarterbacks. Like they've said that about Lamar Jackson making the same mistake, in year 3 as well. Dak Prescott has also received criticism in year 3, So you can't necessarily go hard at Zach Wilson because he dons the Jets jersey. I think that's where more of the hate comes from, because he's a quarterback in a big major market. And the fact that he's not at the tier of a Patrick Mahomes or even a Josh Allen in his own division already, or even Tua, that the criticism is like, it's very magnanimous when it comes to that. And it shouldn't be that way when it comes to Zach Wilson. He's very bright and young. And yes, he's making those decisions, making those mistakes, but he's also had to deal with different play styles over the last couple of years as well. He's under Nathaniel Hackett right now as his offensive coordinator. So you have to basically think about that when we're talking about a quarterback. So we can criticize him all you want in terms of making mistakes, but remember, you had to deal with, a different regime and different offensive play sets. So like you're now learning a different play set, and you knew going into the season you were not going to start. And Aaron Rodgers was going to be the end-all, be-all. And you're probably coming for a couple of snaps if it's a blowout, if that. But now that Aaron Rodgers is gone for the foreseeable future for the next year and some change, at least for this season, this is the ultimate time to see if Zach Wilson can pick something up and make something of himself.
So Yerrr or no?
So the question was Yerrr or nah to whether the Jets will make the playoff. Are the Jets' playoff hopes cut?
No, I don't think they're cut. So that would be nah, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, their playoffs hopes are not cut. I mean, their defense is solidified better than the Giants right now.
Thank you. Eat that.
But Robert Saleh has done a great job. I mean, Robert Saleh is a defensive guy. Robert Saleh is a defensive guy. So defense, I'm not worried about that. It's always been the offense.
Really? You dead serious? Don't
no.
Busy. Don't do that.
That's petty.
Don't do that.
But on the real though, I do think the Jets have an outside chance of making the playoffs, at least a wild card game at that. Off the strength of their defense. And if Zach Wilson can hold serve, and probably gets, now he's going to get fast tracked to Nathaniel Hackett's playbook. So assuming the fact
that he should have been doing that already, if you really want my honest opinion, he should have been doing that.
I mean, when Aaron Rodgers is basically taking pretty much all the snaps through your entire season and you're basically just warming the bench. I mean, it's mentally for a quarterback, it's going to be hard to, basically focus on that when you're not seeing a snap with the Aaron Rodgers in front of you. So now the Achilles is going, it's like, oh snap, I got to play football again. So now what he should have learned in summer school, he's now learning in another year of school, right? So Pete can attest to this as a teacher. So it's like, listen, you had the stories to read over the summer, and the fact that where's your book report? Now you got to basically, he's playing behind the 8 ball. From a mental standpoint, it's not his fault, but from a professional standpoint, he should have been doing what you said. But their playoff hopes are not done. They have a lot of good offensive weapons they have, and from a defensive sense, they're good. So offensively, if you're passable, I think my brother said this the other night when he was watching the Eagles and Vikings game. It's all about, like, if you could be at least a marginal version of Kirk Cousins and be capable. Listen. Would you rather that or them going to the depths of trying to get like that damn quarterback that played for the Ravens, Flacco? Would you rather want that or go for Flacco? Would you rather want that or basically cashing your chips and try to get Carson Wentz and bring him up to speed, even though it's week 2 of the season? And then you have to get him. I would never
wear Jets jersey again if they get Carson fucking Wentz. I'll tell you that right now.
So at some point you got to lean on Zach Wilson. But
we do need a veteran backup though, because Boyle is not it.
They do need a veteran backup.
Now there's Carson Wentz.
Listen, if Andrew Luck did not retire early, that would have been my pick. But you know, unfortunately, he's retired and he's doubling down on that. He's on his 10 toes down. But I see the Jets making at least a wild card game off their defense and off their offensive weapons. They don't have a bad team at all.
They don't. It's just the AFC is just so.
The AFC is tough, and you're gonna have your breaks. You know, New England's gonna have their breaks because they, post Tom Brady, they've had a modicum of mediocrity. You know, you look at the Dolphins, even though they look good right now, they're Tua's a brain injury away from like sitting out for the remainder of his career, not for the season. And then of course you can't trust the Bills, so the Jets do have a chance. So it's not outside of the realm that they don't have the possibility to do it. It's just getting out of that division after that is, you're not. That's a different story in itself.
Right.
And again, it's also week one. Remember, week one is always an anomaly. It really is. I mean, we have seen teams that get terrible in week one and even week two, and then go on to run the league.
I mean, my Giants won the Super Bowl twice by going through struggles like that. Not many Cowboy fans can say that because they can't even get out the conference.
Right.
Go ahead, Dre.
So moving forward onto our last segment today. Excuse me. Returning segment at that. This is Quick Hits with Pete Rosado. Let's get into it.
If it wasn't for the Bronx, this rap probably never would be going on. So tell me where you from.
Uptown, baby, we gets down, baby. I'm for the crown, baby.
Now if it wasn't for the Bronx, this rap probably never would be going on. So tell me where you from.
Uptown, baby.
Who the hell authorized to put the Bronx on the show? Who authorized this?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Quick Hits, a.k.a. things we may have missed since we've last been on the air. Let's quickly go through this. Shohei Ohtani officially out for the season after being placed on the 10-day DL for a strained right oblique that he suffered back on September 4th. He's missed the last 11 games since then, now officially placed on the DL. He had already been shut down as a pitcher after tearing his UCL at the end of August. And adding to this, his locker was cleaned out and emptied at Angels Stadium last night. Apparently, the Angels have said they will address that in the coming days. Shohei Ohtani is a free agent at the end of the year. Twins rookie Royce Lewis set a franchise record with his 4th Grand Slam of the season. He has 5 Grand Slams in 66 career games in Major League Baseball, 4 this season and 1 last season, passing Alexi Ramirez for the most Grand Slams by a rookie ever in MLB history. His 4 Grand Slams this year also happened in his last 18 games, being the shortest span in MLB history for anyone to hit 4 Grand Slams. The previous, Don Mattingly, hitting 4 Grand Slams in 39 games back in the year I was born, 1987. Good news for New York teams. The Mets finally have a president of baseball operations. The Mets have officially
had one this whole time.
They have not. They've had a general manager. They've been looking for a president of baseball operations for the last couple of years, and they finally found one, hiring the man that they wanted for the job. Former Brewers president David Stearns, 5-year deal that will start after the regular season ends. 38-year-old Stearns began his career as an intern for the Mets, and for the last 7 years was the president of baseball operations for the Milwaukee Brewers. They went 554 and 479 in 7 years with him at the helm. By his 3rd year in Milwaukee, they got to the NLCS Game 7, pushing the Dodgers to an elimination game, and that started a streak of 4 straight playoff appearances for the Milwaukee Brewers. The hope is he'll be able to do that along with Billy Epler, who will stay on as the general manager with the New York Mets. Moving to the NFL, Vikings running back Alexander Mattison revealed on his IG story. I don't know if any of you guys saw this on his IG story. He received more than 60 disgustingly disrespectful messages in his DMs after Thursday Night Football lost to the Eagles. He rushed for 28 yards on 8 carries and lost a fumble, but he received more than 60 messages that include the N-word and other slurs about his play in that game. Just not acceptable. Not acceptable at all. And unfortunately, this is because of how much people are living in fake world, right? In the betting world, in the fantasy world. It's not that serious, people. It's not that serious. Also, don't bet money you can't afford to lose if you're not willing to go play the game, right? Can't control what somebody does. On to some good news. Breanna Stewart. Breanna Stewart is the first ever repeat Associated Press WNBA Player of the Year. She edged Aja Wilson by 1 vote this year. Breanna came to the Liberty this year from the Seattle Storm to play closer to home. Finished second in the league in scoring, averaging a career best 23 points a game, helping the New York Liberty to a 32-8 record, the second best record in the league. And speaking of the New York Liberty, they defeated the Washington Mystics in game 1 of their first round playoff series, 90-75, behind Sabrina Ionescu's playoff career high 29 points, hitting a franchise record 7 3-pointers. I would love to see a 3-point contest between Sabrina Ionescu and Steph Curry. I really would.
That's not a contest. Why?
I would just love to see her go off.
Against who?
We know what Steph can do, but I want to see Sabrina do it as well. I honestly think.
And embarrass herself?
Well, no. I honestly think some of the best 3-point shooters in the WNBA should be allowed during NBA playoff weekend to compete in the 3-point contest.
Against Jesus? Are you
against Steph?
Well, I mean, Steph hasn't competed in every single one.
But this is Steph.
Jesus.
I still want to see it. This is entertainment, my God. Entertainment.
No. Like entertainment is like, okay, you're putting them against some of the top 3-point, like Dame and everybody else. But this is Steph.
Still be fun.
It's Steph.
The New York Liberty got their first home playoff victory since 2015, and the Liberty are seeking their first WNBA championship. And speaking of the WNBA, this year was their most watched regular season in 21 years, and also their highest average attendance since 2018. Viewership this past year up 21%, and the league's average attendance of 6,615 fans per game was the WNBA's highest since 2018. They also expanded their schedule to 40 games this season and actually gained their highest total attendance for the entire season. 1,587,488 fans. Ladies and gentlemen, watch the WNBA. It's actually very, very good. Games are
shout out to the Liberty.
That's to the Liberty, yep.
Liberty might get a title before the Knicks.
I mean, that's a given.
That's a given.
It's a very fair chance, but let's not get too crazy, because the Las Vegas Aces got that dog, Aja Wilson, who set the WNBA scoring record actually sometime last week with 54 points.
Also needs Candace Parker, who hasn't played much and has been hurt. Even though CP will definitely do a great job when healthy, but you got to understand, bro. The Liberty this season, as a well-oiled machine offensively, they've had the Aces number the entire season, and with the lineup.
And in the
understandable, but also Candace Parker has been out half the year anyway, and the Aces have held down first place the whole entire year.
Understood. So now, if you bring her back at some point of the playoffs, she's not going to play 100%. That's one. Two, they're going to attack Candace Parker because she's not fully, like healthy to be on the floor with those guys, and of course rested as well, because she's going to be exhausted. Well,
but listen, at the same time, Candace Parker is probably the greatest WNBA player ever.
Maya Moore.
I won't go that far.
Maya Moore is the greatest.
Maya Moore. Tamika
for the fourth straight.
Either Maya Moore, Tamika. In my book, Maya Moore, Tamika Catchings, Lisa Leslie. Those are people that Cheryl Swoops. Those early.
I was about to say, how you just gonna forget Cheryl like that?
I didn't.
Like Cynthia Cooper.
Cynthia Cooper.
I'm not forgetting.
Yes, you are.
Any of those names. I'm not forgetting any of those names. All I'm saying is Candace Parker to me, and I said it is my opinion. Again, it's always subjective.
It's the one
Candace
I disagree
Parker
with.
is that's fine. You can, but quite possibly the greatest WNBA player ever. There are people. There is an argument for other people. I think that Candace Parker is the greatest. It's an argument like how people say Kobe Bryant is the greatest NBA player ever. Oh, wait, there's Michael Jordan. There is Bill Russell. There's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There are a lot of people that you could put inside that conversation. I do respect Tamika Catchings, Maya Moore for sure, Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops. Definitely, all of them are definitely up there. I don't think Sue Bird as the greatest. I think Tarazi actually is. Tarazi was my number one. Tarazi was
back in 2021, September of 2021, it was the 25-year anniversary of the WNBA, and ESPN actually did a top 25 players in the WNBA. But they even said they started it that it is equal parts fun and difficult because how do we rank players such as 4-time champion Cynthia Cooper, who was 34 when the league began in 1997,
and dominated.
Imagine if Cynthia Cooper had been able to play, like Breanna Stewart, who at 27 had 2 titles and had the WNBA to shoot for when she was in college. You got to remember that a lot of our early players like Lisa Leslie and Cynthia Cooper and Rebecca Lobo and all of them, they did not – this was not a real reality to them. And when they were able to make it to the WNBA, were a lot older. So, but as of ESPN, they have Diana Taurasi ranked number 1, Tamika Catchings number 2. And they said Diana Taurasi may be the best offensive player in WNBA history, but Tamika Catchings is the most complete basketball player we have ever seen. She remains the only player in the league to ever finish a season top 10 in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks, and did it twice. And she led the Fever to the playoffs for 12 consecutive seasons, even without ever getting a lottery pick. Cynthia Cooper was ranked 3rd.
Ooh.
Maya Moore ranked 4th. Leslie 5th. Swoops was 6th. Lauren Jackson was 7. Sue Bird was 8.
Lauren Jackson was a dog.
Candace Parker was 9. And Sylvia Fowles was 10.
I forgot all about her. That's crazy.
What about Katie Smith too? Because I remember she was doing good with the Detroit Shock too. I know she's got to be up there too.
I know the current players. Della Don was ranked 11. Breanna Stewart was ranked 12.
Damn, that quick?
What did Della Don do?
Remember, Shaq was in the all-time 50 greatest players after 3 seasons there. So
Tina Thompson 15. Simone Augustus was 14. Katie Smith was ranked 16.
Okay, I know as long as I know she's in the top 20, because I'm like, you can't start that list without having her name in it.
Tina Charles 18.
Let's go, Tina.
Lindsay Whalen was 19. Honestly, I think Cappie Poindexter 21. Yeah, the fact that Becky Hammon is out of the top 20, she's 23. Like Becky Hammon, I feel like deserves more love.
She's smart. She's smart. I don't think she was like one of the dogs like that we just all listed. So I mean, she's one of the most intelligent.
If
anything, it was probably more so her Stars run that got her that recognition over than the Liberty run, because she was playing behind Teaspoon and them for a minute. And then by the time she basically got, her own, the Liberty wasn't the Liberty, and then she got traded to the Stars, and that's when she really picked it up.
Right. Yeah. I mean, to me, like when I watched the WNBA, obviously, the players who launched that WNBA, like, and I put Rebecca Lobo in that conversation because I didn't know too much outside of Cheryl Miller, right? Women's basketball wasn't really in the forefront of my mind. And then when you got stars like Swoops and Catchings and Lobo and Leslie and all of them blowing up, I was just like, yo, this was great. For me, in terms of, again, recency bias, Sue Bird is one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. Because Sue Bird was just dominant. Every time I watched Sue Bird play, it was incredible, right? But then again, this is what happens when you see people like we grew up in the era of 90s and early 2000s basketball. So for us, there are players from that era that will always be better than the best players from today because we have a sentimental bias towards them. And that's me with Sue Bird. I'm very sentimental towards Sue Bird and her status in the WNBA, almost the same way as I am about Becky Hammond, watching her for so many years. I was going to say, talk about Lisa Leslie. My girl's been binging One-on-One on Netflix. And Lisa Leslie popped up in an episode. I was like, oh, shit, Lisa Leslie.
Oh, Kyla Pratt? Sexy.
Do we have?
You know what? She was like 11. Stop it. Stop.
No, I'm just saying. I was 11, and I gotta relax. I'm not gonna say nothing. She's still.
No, I will say, Rodney Peete probably had the greatest come up ever because he married Holly Robinson Peete, and Holly Robinson Peete is fine.
Your girl must not be there. She not over there.
Do we have more in quick hits?
No, that was everything.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, shout outs to the People's Champ for joining on for Backstage Brawl. They are on every Saturday around 1 p.m. Right? 2 p.m. on every Saturday 2 p.m. Live on the Sports Hit List. Shout outs to the voice of a generation, Pete Rosado of We Are Wrestling. Had an amazing show last week. Had the building filled up. The show was so great that the other shows throughout that weekend had nobody in it. Big flex.
Big flex.
Shout outs to Mr. I'm inside the house now.
But I'm still outside when I need to be, just not like on that front.
No, you domesticated. You domesticated.
I'm domesticated, but I'll be outside to be active when I need to be. Not like on that front.
Leave the outside to me. Leave outside.
Shout out to Air Infinity, aka Queen Tay, and all of us here at the Euro Sports Show.
I did not authorize this Bronx thing though. What was that about? Like, who signed off on that, Dre? Like,
so for everybody here at the Euro Sports Show, it is
you
your
peed in the back. You peed in the backyard,
baby. Signing off. Peace.